Lisa, we're good? We're good. All right. Hey, everybody, welcome to our virtual tours. We love to be able to show off Carmelita Gardens to new people, and we always have some owners and regulars joining us. Today, it turns out it's a beautiful day. It was a little cloudy earlier, and now the clouds have separated to give us a great, almost like a studio here. It's perfect lighting. You'll be able to see all of the beautiful green plants and trees and flowers and the colorful houses that we have here in Carmelita Gardens. But we wanted to start off here at the entrance because some of the most exciting news that we've had from the very beginning, from when it was a cow pasture 15 years ago in a remote location to now where the government has converted the old potholed dirt road into this new beautiful paved road that leads to Spanish Lookout. They're still working on it. This is a brand new project that they just started this year. And the first stretch that they paved was right here in front of Carmelita Gardens. So all of us, and I think especially including me, because I go back to 15 years when it was a cow pasture, first time driving on it, it was like a dream come true. I think I drove up to the village and back again and back again. It was awesome. And not only do we have this paved road, but the government is actually building a bridge that goes directly from Santa Familia to Santa Elena. And that's going to be a game changer. Between the two of them, Carmelita Gardens is still, just outside of Santa Elena and San Ignacio, the twin towns. But now it's going to be really convenient. So you have the kind of, country, river setting, but the conveniences of all of the restaurants, the banks, the different activities that you have in San Ignacio and Santa Elena, access now to the international airport. Now, instead of going through Spanish Lookout, you just take the bridge and off you go. So the area minister, when he was elected, he had this dream. He's like, one day the twin towns of Santa Elena, San Ignacio are going to become the tri-town area, including Santa Familia Village. And the activity here already in anticipation of that bridge, it's palpable. You can see people are preparing for the boom. So one of the things that I've always talked about in real estate is the old adage, location, location, location. That's an old cliche. The reality is it's timing, value, location. We have the location. We've always had the location, but the timing and the value are the key things. And I always think about, like, if you buy a piece of property on a mountain before the ski resort goes in, I guess that's good timing. Just before it closes down forever, bad timing. But if you got a good value and a beautiful location with a view, the location's always the same and it's always beautiful. Now, the timing is what is so attractive in Carmelita Gardens. So with no further ado, we're going to take you on a driving tour. We're going to drive throughout Carmelita Gardens. And then at the end, we'll sit down for a little Q&A. We already have some people that have sent in their questions. So if you have questions, we'll do that at the end. Go ahead and put them into the chat box, and then we'll open up the Q&A after our driving tour. So I'm not sure. Sometimes it's a little extemporaneous. We just kind of jump in the car and go. This is the first time that we've set up the tripod and have to transition into the car. So I'm going to leave it to the lovely Elisa to get us from here to the car. See you in the car. Okay, now I'm in charge. Roll that down. Okay, so we're in Elisa's Jeep here, which has the removable top, and it's really cool. So I think I'm going to sit up a little bit here so I can get a good perspective, and then I also have a map So if I need to reference, I can see that. Oh, I'm getting your seat a little dirty. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Let me get the full view. All right, so yeah, this is nice up here. Got a good view. It reminds me when my daughter was very young and I was shopping for a new car. She said, Daddy, get a no-top, get a no-top. So now we have a no-top. Okay, so we are at the very entrance of Carmelita Gardens, and we'll get the handy-dandy map here, so you got a reference. So we are right there, as you can see, the entrance, and that's the new paved road that goes in one direction to Spanish Lookout, the other direction to the twin towns of San Ignacio, Santa Elena. So we're going to go up and we're going to go around the town square first and kind of show you what the vision is for that. And then we'll go and tour a few different areas and neighborhoods where there are properties available. There are resales. These are a lot of questions that people have had. They'll be answered, I think, a lot of them along the way on the tour. And then we're going to end up on the back porch of Kristen's house, which is also going to be going up for sale. And so you'll get a chance to see that and the beautiful river behind it. So right now we're going to head towards the town square, which is right there and right in front of us. So this is our entrance, kind of palm-lined entrance. What's amazing, and if you look back if you have Google Earth, if you look at Google Earth, you can actually go back and see historic photos and our satellite images. And if you look at the satellite images of Carmelita Gardens, you see it was a cow pasture, and now all of these trees. And, nature has done some of this. It was when it was a cow pasture, they did a really good job of fertilizing and replanting. Okay, hold on. But we also have to thank our good friend Dave Carlson, who has the nickname Tree Dave. He's kind of like our Johnny Appleseed. He goes around and he plants trees and he waters plants and he prunes and he trims. And so we're very thankful to have Dave here as a resident, doing some great work. He never admits to being an arborist, but boy, he sure has a green thumb for the plants and the trees. So this area right here, and if you look on your map, you'll see the triangle-shaped piece. This is where the what they call the Pineapple Club, which will be like a gathering place, so a place where you can hold events, host, outside events, internal events, have meetings, things like that. And it'll have a covered pickleball court and a pool. There'll also be a recreation area to where we can have, volleyball, croquet, cornhole, different kind of yard games. And then it overlooks the town square. So if we head towards the town square, you'll see on your map, it is actually dimension-wise, it's 300 feet by 300 feet, which is classical, traditional town dimension. It's back to the age of antiquity that size is actually a human scale. It's just right. And so for events, we have, art in the park, farmer's market, cinema, on the green, those types of things. It's a perfect setting for that. And again, thanks to Dave's green thumb, you can see already we have some nice trees that are here growing along the way. He's planted all of those. He's made a selection of different colors, different flowers, different shade trees. So, and then here we have right here at the end a big monumental ceiba tree, which is very kind of sacred in the Maya world. So we've kept that growing there from the very beginning. And we come here to this intersection, and this is where our cottage row starts. And so this is several cottages that are all powered by a microgrid, a shared water and septic system. It's the only place in the community that we have that. Somebody emailed a question about individual utility packages, and that's how all of the other houses are built. This was kind of an experimental initiative back in 2016 to see how the microgrid would work. And it's sort of okay, but it's been a little bit difficult. It's kind of where you talk about the tragedy of the commons, where the whole community has a cow pasture and everybody can graze their cows, but then somebody brings in 100 head of cattle instead of just the couple that you're supposed to have for your house. And then it's just big consumption. I underestimated the appetite for water and energy of North Americans. But anyway, we're working out the wrinkles. But moving forward, we're just sticking with all of the independent home systems that are working great. We have people that we used to use generators, but now because of the advance of the technology, we just have more batteries, more panels. It's actually less expensive. It's much better than having the generators, which was a concern. It's like, what if we have all of these generators going on after 3 days of cloudy weather? It'd be a cacophony of generator sounds. So instead, we're just adding more batteries and panels, and every home is independent. They have their own rainwater harvesting and filtration, storage. They have eco-friendly septic tanks with 3 chambers, so the effluent is eco-friendly. And then the solar packages, it just kind of depends on your lifestyle. How much power do you need? Some people only need a couple of kilowatts, whereas some people need 10 or more. We've got people that have, these little cottages that are also independent, not just, on the microgrid. And they require a small system. Whereas we also have people that have swimming pools and, gourmet kitchens and, other things like that, woodworking equipment, whatever it is that their lifestyle, their hobbies require, cooking, things like that people do. Then we size the system to accommodate lifestyle and budget of the individual. So we're going to head down to the other side of the cottage lane. And you see nothing is built on the cottage lots. At the very end, Terry's built her house. That's actually a village-sized lot. The rest of them along here. And if you, again, take a look at the map, and you'll see that right here, where's me? Okay, yep. So right to the right of the town square is the cottage park west, that we call it. Those are lots 110 through 121. And now we're heading down where there's lots 97 through 107. And that's this stretch right here. And there are lots available. In fact, these lots right here, we have 101 through 104 there. They are all available. So some people have bought multiple lots. We actually have a lot of people that have bought multiple lots, whether they're garden lots, village lots, river estate. So that is available. And you see there's a green space that goes behind. If you look at your maps, there's green space all throughout Carmelita Gardens. So when I did the land plan, the government of Belize requires 10% green space. I set aside 20% to make sure that we had plenty of room for orchards and gardens, green spaces, recreation areas. Actually, even Maya mounds, and we'll go by that here in a little bit. But first, we're going to go up past some other houses that are built and that are being resided in. We have about 55 houses now, and about the same number of residents, some full-time, some part-time, snowbirds or people that are just, haven't settled down yet or still out traveling and, having fun or whatever it is they do, but they come and go. And we enjoy their time here. They enjoy their time here. But we do have, I guess it's probably 40-something full-time residents. Here's Bill and Ellen. They are part-time residents because they're some of the people that I just described that are just traipsing around, having fun, traveling, seeing areas around the States, visiting kids, visiting grandkids, that type of thing. And here, close to their house, are a couple of lots that are going to become available now. They've been held off, primarily because we're looking at those as possibly being, a little park or something like that. But now with the 20% green space park area, I think we've got plenty of common area and green space. And we do have 5 access points to the river. So you can see here lots 141, 142. So right now, I don't think those are on our current availability map, but they will be appearing soon. So if you're interested in some nice, deep, spacious riverfront lots, let me know. And we can come and do a special tour of these lots and talk to you about that. So in the meantime, most of these are already bought. But what I'd like to feature is, Bill and Ellen's neighbor, Kelly here, she is a full-time resident. In fact, she recently did a podcast or video interview with Kathy Petticord at Live and Invest Overseas. So if you see that, there's Kelly and Shannon. Okay, wave, say hello. And so, Kelly has just done a beautiful job with her house. It is like a architectural digest, Southern living piece. And she also has this lot next door, which she's already planted some trees, a little orchard, and she's got her little dog Baxter that just loves to run out here and play fetch. And so there's Terry's house there. And then on this side, we have an access. I had mentioned 5 different accesses to the river. This is one of them. And we are going to kind of excavate to make it an easier access, because right at the end there is kind of a drop off, a little bluff there. So we'll make it to have easier access. This actually is our landing point when we do our floats. For a while there, we really got into these Friday floats, which are fun. We start at the Riverside Park on the other end of the community and put in inner tube. Some people do a life jacket float. They just put on a life jacket and they just float along. It's kind of like our own lazy river. It goes all the way around. We've got a mile of Belize river frontage. So on the nice days and nice times of the year, let's get together for a float, and you come around. It's about 45 minutes to an hour float, and you end up right here, and and get a refreshment or whatever, and do it again if you want. And we've had barbecues, and also it's great for fishing and just playing around in the river. There are times of the year, though, where, it's the tropics. We get the rainy season and the river will rise and it'll be moving pretty fast. So that's not a good time for the floats. There are other activities to do, that time of year. And there are also people ask about flooding. So, we're on a river in the tropics. And so that definitely does happen. But all of the houses have been built up. They've been all engineered and constructed to withstand that. And we've had a couple of floods in recent years. And all of the houses have done well structurally. There's been no settlement, anything like that. All of the foundations are tied together. So we do, think about all of that, and we we engineer and build with that in mind. This is a house here that actually the whole community has been anxious to see something happen with this house for over a decade now. It was the 4th house that was built in Carmelita. Sadly, the owner had passed away. His sister inherited it. She got a friend involved who was a realtor in Florida. They ended up selling it in 2018. And then the gentleman who bought it, great intentions to come down and finish it off. He rekindled a love, high school sweetheart or whatever, which is great and sweet. But then he was really committed at the end of 2019. He said, "That's it. I'm strapping on my tool belt. I'm coming down." Well, 2020, we know what happened there, and it kind of threw his plans off. But recently, we were able to make an arrangement so that he still has property in Carmelita, which is his dream. But now this project can be finished. So Elisa and I are now finishing what was once called the castle. The locals from a decade ago said, "Oh, it looks like a castle." That became its name, but we changed it to the Belvedere, because the architectural term for what would be like a cupola, a rooftop room with a view is actually a belvedere. And so the plan is to actually finish that rooftop terrace to actually have a little room up there. So anyway, the crews are busily working on formerly the castle to finally finish it. And as I told the former owner, I said, I don't want to have to do another virtual tour where I have to explain that one day something's going to happen. So after about 11 years, it's moving forward. Here we got a couple of, these actually were based on model homes that we have. So we have Benny and Anna that did their modifications and personalization interpretation of one of our models. And then over on the other side here, we have Mark's house, and he did the same thing. You know, we take models. It's very common for people to pick a model. It's a cottage, a bungalow, or a villa model, and then make personal modifications, things that fit their lifestyle and their budget. And our architect, Louise, she is very talented. She worked closely with everybody from the very beginning. I say soup to nuts. From the very beginning, when you just have a little concept, could be a napkin sketch or something like that. She works through the process with you with a series of meetings on Zoom, and she does, live, revisions. So you can be right there on the screen, seeing her make the revisions, and then she turns that into construction drawings and bill of quantities and estimates, and then actually takes you through the whole process to the very end, where we have a housewarming, a golden ribbon cutting. So it's a nice continuity from the very beginning to the very end of the construction. And so we have we call the golden shovel, where we do a groundbreaking, and a golden ribbon. So what we've stopped to look at here is one of our roundabouts. So every roundabout was intended to have a different theme. But as the developer, I always had a philosophy that this isn't for the developer. This is for the community and for generations to come. So this is our first roundabout that was designed with all community input. Tree Dave had this idea some years ago. Actually, I think it was while we were here during COVID, just kind of kicking around some different ideas. He said, what about a sundial? He said, wouldn't it be great to have one of the roundabouts be themed as a sundial, since we're a solar powered community? And I'm like, I love that idea. And so now some years later, we got a sundial committee together, and we studied, sundials, the face, where the shadow would be at our latitude, the gnomon, what would the angle of the gnomon need to be in order to cast the appropriate shadow, and then the design with the pedestal. And thanks to some of our residents who had our armillary sphere, which is another type of sundial, they've donated that, which we will mount on top of a concrete pedestal, sort of like what is constructed there in wood. That is the angle of the gnomon, and that is about the size of the pedestal. And that's the armillary sphere that will be mounted. And so now we're looking at finishing it off, painting it, and also adding something that is really cool. It's got a lot of buzz in the community, particularly amongst the people who are really involved in a lot of things in the community, as well as Santa Familia, where they're doing a lot of volunteering, helping the elderly. But we also have a retired music teacher. And so what we would like to do actually is see if we can make it a singing sundial. So using different things with some pipes that would be like in the gnomon, called the Helmholtz effect. It's like blowing over a bottle. Ooh, making that sound as they go over the pipes. They'll make a sound. There's also the idea of like a calliope, where, if you have some water in there, the heat of the sun will make a little steam whistle. There's different ideas that we have that we're going to play around with. And I think we already have the record for the biggest sundial in Belize, and we might have the only singing sundial in the world. I haven't been able to find one, but if anybody knows of one, let me know. I'm looking for some good references. So what we're going to do is, let me look at my little route map here. Oops. Sorry, my AirPod fell out. Okay, so we are, going to go to the right now. Yes. And then, oh yes, we're going to go to one of my favorite places, the Maya Mounds. Yes. So this is now heading towards the town square. And you see on the map, the brown shaded lots, those are all part of what would be sort of the, I don't know, commercial corridor, if you will, the live work units overlooking the town square out to the river. But the idea of a walkable kind of traditional town is that all properties, all homes are within about a 5-minute walk of the town square. And we do have that. It's all, and we have little easements that you see throughout the community that are pedestrian easements designed for easy access to the town square, through the green spaces, to your neighbor's house, and all of that. So let me see hold on. Where do I have this going? There. And no, now we're going to actually go to the right, but I did want to have a glimpse, and then we're going to come back to the left, sorry. We're going to come back to the Maya Mound. Well, no, we're going this way now. So, we're going to go past Bill and Deborah's house. Bill, here's a retired realtor, electrician, contractor. He's got a lot of different experiences. So he's built a cottage here on his lot. And Deborah and her mom, Ann, built this beautiful house on their property. And behind them is our Maya Mound Park. So it's pretty cool to be able to have a Maya site like in your backyard, so to speak. We'll head around to the left, and then you can see there's this nice canopy roads here that there are actually some lots available over to the right that if you are into archaeology, if you're into, the Maya, that type of thing, these are some nice properties to have. And we will actually be having good news that we just received a couple of months ago, I guess a little more. It was during the summer when Jaime Awe, the former director of archaeology, had some student groups down here working at Cajopech, which is one of the significant Maya sites in Belize. We met with them. They came out here, took a look at our mounds, and also informed us that there is a new project that they're going to start next year, just like in Santa Familia Village. It's a significant site which has never been really worked on officially. And it's the size of Cajopech, so a significant archaeological site. So they feel like they've kind of done what needs to be done at Cajopech in terms of the excavation, having artifacts that are touring the United States, things like that. It's been a very successful project. And so now Dr. Awe and Claire, one of his main doctor, she's a professor at I think it's University of Pittsburgh, and she and the team are coming down next year and going to be working on Yashush in Santa Familia Village, and we'll have a team over here at our Maya Mounds. So it's very exciting. They say that we have an intermediate elite structure here, so it would have been sort of like I don't know, like a landlord, like a sheriff or whatever that had his shire, so to speak, that is in charge of. And so this would have been his kind of elite residence here. So we are going to have a student team on site doing that. So again, if you're really into that, you may be interested in these lots up here on the map. It's 18 and 19. This is one of the resales. People asking other lots for resale. So 19 and 20. 18 is over there, right across from the Maya Mounds. And so from here, I would say we go to the left and go past Carl and Joy's house. And so these are some folks that have I think at least 10 years ago, bought property in Carmelita Gardens and, waiting for the right time to build. And then when the right time to build came along, here, look at the Maya Mounds here. This was really nice. And this is actually Elisa's lot here. And you see she's been planting her monstera and other things here, just kind of doing a little landscaping with her green thumb. another little mound structure here. But on this side, yeah, Carl and Joy's house. Again, they bought property and then the time came to build, but they wanted something bigger than their original lot. So they kept their original lot just as a kind of legacy investment, and then built this house here. It's absolutely beautiful house. It's just, ideal for them. Again, Luis worked with them on the design and the drafting. So now what we'll do is go around the roundabout up here and then go to the left and then to the right here. So this house up here is called Casablanca. He can guess for what reason. And again, a beautiful house. It was recently resold, and the new owners built a garage there so that she can keep in her powered parachute. She's a retired airline pilot. And has a very adventurous spirit. So now we're going to go up to the right here, and again, answering people's questions about resales. There's this cottage here, which is a resale. The folks here are being called back home. Apparently, they have ill parents that need some tending to, and so they're going to go back to Canada and tend to them. So if you're interested in that house, it's what would be, I guess, kind of really a nice layout. It's been well kept. So if you're interested, just let us know, and then we can get you more information and arrange some kind of a tour for you. So I mentioned Carl and Joy, kind of longtime owners, but Bill is actually one of our longest time owners. He bought 12, maybe 13 years ago in preparation for his eventual retirement. And so that eventuality has come. And so now we're building his house for him. And we're really, really happy to have Bill coming down, being part of the community. He's just a great guy, and he'd come down just about every year with his professional camera equipment in tow. Even though he's amateur photographer, he's a very talented photographer, and he's some amazing bird photographs and nature photographs all around Belize. And once again, he's just a great guy, and really looking forward to having him join the community full time. Then, we'll head to the left here. This is a house that is just recently resold. Tim and Tammy, the original owners, go back to 2016 as owners, and they made some investments as founders, what we call it, patron circle investments, and put that into a house. They built the house. They would, come down every once in a while, but found that their schedules are so busy back home that they just wanted to sell it. And so they've done that. And so we're going to have some new residents soon. To our left is a bungalow. It's actually one of our bungalow models that we built for Don. Oh, there's Donald right now. So Donald is one of our most, look, he's got his bread and ready to go. That's right. All right. Thank you, Donald. So he's one of our most active community members, and he is, kind of runs our workshop, which is meant to be sort of a maker space, and we're still formalizing the details there. But he loves to go there and make stuff out of wood, make sawdust, as he says. But the other thing that he's done is he's joined forces with his neighbor Mark over here to the right, and then Tree Dave, who I've mentioned before. And the three of them together purchased Amigos Park, and they all have green thumbs and great interest in growing things. So you can see they have transformed this lot from basically, across the road there is David's lot. And this one kind of looked like that, but now it's starting to look like a botanical garden. And they've just opened it up to the community as a park. They put in little footbridges, and even if we move forward, you'll be able to see their little palapa that they put up, little thatch roof. And so oftentimes we go by there and see people just, lounging at Amigos Park. So let's go back down. We didn't go down Cottage Park, so let's take a left here down Cottage Park. And so you can see the colorful little cottages that we have here. Just a beautiful little lane. There's JC, one of our very long-time residents also. Bruce's place there. So we got several people that either are full-time residents in the cottages. Some are rental units. People have asked about that. Yes, you can come and rent, and as they say, sort of try before you buy. We have a lot of people that do that, or people are coming down for vacations, or people that actually rent cottages or other houses so you're going to take a right up here. That they rent it while their house is being built, so they can live here and see their house being constructed. Oh, I guess I was not doing enough filming here. Sorry. This is like talking and eating at the same time. You're not supposed to do that. Don't talk with your mouth full. But I'm trying to video while I'm talking. Anyway, so that's our cottages. And then, like I said, the kind of the mirror reverse on the map. You'll see it's like another. So we came by here earlier. So let's take a right, go by the sundial. And then we're going to go down the riverfront here. So here we have a couple of lots, 157 and 158. So we're getting ready now to set up our holiday New Year, kind of 2026. We're doing stuff, model homes, property specials, things like that. When we first started, we would do, like pre-development. Then before we started construction, it was like pre-construction. Now with the road and the bridge going in, the community really, solidly established, and some good lots, still out there. We're going to be offering some specials. So stay tuned for that. And I encourage anybody that's interested in any particular property, whether it's the vacant lots, the river garden lots, or whatever it is, contact us. Let us know what your particular interest is. And then we can help match you with your lifestyle, your budget, whatever, with the appropriate lots or resale property or whatever it is. So here, this is one of our parks. It's called Scout Park. We named it after a community dog that we had for years and years. And when his time came to move on, so to speak, he's interred right here at our little Scout Park. And this is where we have basketball and pickleball court and some horseshoe pits. And this is our little recreation area now. And so next, right here, I just want to point out there is a house that is going to be marketed very soon. I've been working on this one. So it's a resale where, again, ill parents called them back to the States, along with some other things that just needed them to move back. And now they're ready to really push for a sale on the property. And I'm going to really focus on that. So again, if you're interested in resales, there's that one on the river. And then a recently finished house. It's really like a brand new house. Manny and Ruth. Oh, there's Manny now out there. They're, I guess, Manny is well into his 80s. And so the kind of up and down, and this is one of the areas that has had some flooding, and so Manny really wants to have his whole orchard and plant stuff and gardens and chickens and things. So they found that it's going to be easier for them to be closer to the ground and place that doesn't flood. But that one is actually listed with Luna Realty. Luna's got all of our resales listed. So if you want information about that, we can connect you with Luna. And we're going to go around the peninsula, but I just want to show you, this is Tree Dave's house here. And as you can expect for somebody that loves trees, having a house that has a green roof and wooden railings and all of that is his thing. Here's our rain tree. This is set aside in a green area, park right there. And now we'll go around the peninsula, which is our river garden area. And this property here is actually kind of multiple lots that have just owned by the same owner. And he has a green thumb as well. So this is his own little botanical garden. And this house is kind of what they call like a pocket listing. It's like they're not officially listed it, but if somebody's interested, they would entertain an offer. So again, when looking at resales, if it's something you're interested in, let us know. This is a good example here of what can be done with a plan. So the Tortuga here, which is the second house that was ever built here, that floor plan was of interest to this gentleman here. And so we took the floor plan and made modifications to fit his lifestyle and budget. So you get an idea of what can happen in sort of the transformation of a building, depending on what the owners want. And then straight ahead of us is Ted and Sylvia's house. And this one is what you kind of put in our category of manor homes. It's just a category of completely custom homes that are not started off with a model or any kind of plan, just starting with the owners, their wishes, their lifestyle, their budget, and then a bubble diagram, basically, circles on paper that lead to a dodecagon, actually a 12-sided house, which is what Sylvia really wanted, was to have actually a round house, but just based on concrete block construction, which is what we were using at the time. It was easier to do something that was a segmented house, 12 sides, rather than an actual round house. We've since changed our construction system from concrete block and wood to insulated concrete panels. And so we'll go down, go this way. Yeah, let's just go this way real quick. So the like Dave's house, Kristen's house, Matt and Rhonda's house, Al's, all of these houses that we've done in the last, I'd say, 5 years are all built with this insulated concrete form, which has a rigid foam insulation in the center. Then it has wire mesh on the outside and the inside. And so then we put layers of concrete and plaster on it. So you have a concrete house. So it's very, solid, resilient. You have longevity. Low maintenance, lower insurance costs, but you also have the insulation, which is really important. This home also built with the panels, and so Zdenka has built a shell, and they just finished this. And then next year, kind of in the new fiscal year, whatever we're going to go ahead and finish it for her. So this is an option, and we've done a few shells, and we've learned, kind of what to do, but also realize that we're in the tropics. So one of the things is, if you're going to let it, sit for a little while, you do need to budget a little bit of maintenance because, wasps and things will want to nest in it. Nature abounds here, which is also one of the questions we had about are the benefits to wildlife here, and we find that the wildlife is really kind of booming here. The more trees and plants and things that we have, the more we see the coatamundi, the bush rabbits, we see foxes, a lot of bird life with toucans and eagles and hawks. And it's just, it's amazing. We get more and more wildlife every day, it seems like. This is actually the third house that was built here. It was built on 2 lots. And it's a manor house. It was a custom house with a pool in the backyard, a gourmet kitchen, a bar. And so it's a beautiful house. And for a while, it served as a community center. And then it was sold to some folks that actually still entertain almost as if it was a community center. Anytime there's an event or something, Frank and Amy step right up and volunteer to host the event. So let's go up here. We can maybe just turn around over at Jessica's there, which is also hold on. All right, Elise is pointing out here that we need to show the Belita. This is one of the early homes built as well, and owned by Frank and Amy as a rental unit. So people were asking about rental units. This has been hands down our most popular rental unit. It was designed to be handicap accessible and very kind of family friendly. And so we've had families even rent it long term. We had one family with 7 children here, and they were able to accommodate them. It's a split plan, so you have the kind of master suite on one side, bedroom and loft that serves as a bedroom also on the other side, with a big accessible kitchen. We covered the back porch for them, so it's a really nice back porch, kind of a dining porch. The living room up here with a separate bathroom. There's an outdoor shower. Like I said, it's hands down our number one rental, and Frank and Amy right across the road are the owners and fantastic hosts. So we're going to go up here and we'll see a couple of the custom homes. One is a resale and was the fourth, I think it was the 4th house that we actually built in Carmelita. One of the recent builds over here, JD and Marianne. They have a wonderful story. They met in Orange Walk in Belize in the 1970s as Peace Corps volunteers, and they had a dream to come back and settle here one day, and now they have, and we're very thankful and fortunate to have them as part of our community. And then here's Jessica and Sue's house. This one is for resale. Again, Luna has the listing. And we did yesterday, they did an open house. And so we were able to tour it with some guests. And again, they can do virtual tours. Angie is on site and she can do virtual tours anytime she's here, Monday through Friday. And so just schedule something and she can show you around. We're going to actually just kind of turn around here, but I wanted to show you our most recently finished home. This is, we just finished doing the walkthrough and the punch list and all of that. And this is Bruce's house. This is now the kind of largest customized home that we have here. Got a beautiful top floor on the ground floor. He's been able to finish it off with a guest suite, fitness room, and sauna, and storage and parking. So that is just another example of that you go off grid, you're not, like living like a gold prospector up in the Yukon or something like that. And you don't have to give the creature comforts to live off grid. As you can see, we've got lots of sunshine, and then, the whole idea of being a sustainable, resilient community. We have fantastic soil. So for growing things, we've got great soil conditions. We have, I think we'll go for the Q&A now. Great soil conditions, great sunshine, ample rain, not too much. Sometimes it seems like there's a little too much, but boy, it keeps everything so lush and green. I mean, if you look around at just, how beautifully green and, like you said, lush everything is. And at the different seasons, there's mango season, avocado season, custard. There's all sorts of great exotic fruits, soursop, that's high in antioxidant. They're really just like sagging on the branches here. They're just so abundant. So I think I answered a number of the questions that were put in before, but if I missed any, then I am going to get to those once we get settled in. We're going to go up to the back porch here at Kristen's house. Again, she's going to be coming down with the family in just a few weeks around Christmas, New Year's, and get things set up to properly kind of put it on the market. And so you get an opportunity to kind of have first dibs on it, if you will. Here's the beautiful riverfront. And I'm going to kind of focus on that a minute while I open the door and get out. Okay. So we're moving upstairs now. Here we have a hummingbird feeder, which does attract hummingbirds. We've got like 2 of them living in the tree directly behind this, and then there's one over there that are regulars. And I don't know if it's like a couple and then a single male over there, but there are 2 of them that are very competitive at the feeder, which is interesting to see. Okay, so come around here, this side, and for Elisa to come up. Help with the Q&A. Here you go. Oh, should I sit there? Yeah, I guess that's the idea. Okay. Okay. So one of the things that people ask about is everybody from North America, or a lot of times they say from America, but we have Canadians and U.S. citizens. So we have, I think just about almost everybody, not 100%, has come to Carmelita Gardens from North America, but it's not necessarily where their native country is from. And we have people from Jamaica, the Philippines, Manny, who you saw out there tending to his garden, from India, his wife Ruth from Honduras, Lisa from Russia, Germany, I think the Netherlands, South Africa. The list goes on. There are people from all over the world, but most of them, I think almost all of them, went to North America, worked, whatever, and then it came time to relocate for different reasons. A lot of it are your retirement, but also we have a lot of people that just, are freedom seekers, and they just, the politics and, things like that are going on in North America. They're just like, yeah, I'm out of here. I want to go somewhere where I can just breathe the air of freedom and just, tend to my garden or just have activities, whatever, go float in the pool, go out with the community. We have got a very active community doing things in the village, but they also host different things. They'll host games, potluck. Every Tuesday, they go to San Ignacio for Taco Tuesday. I would say there's always a minimum of like 10 people, sometimes 20 will go. So things like that are happening, and more as each new person comes, they bring a new interest, they bring a new energy, and That's how the next event or activity or whatever happens. So we're growing organically like that, little by little. But I do really see this boom coming of the bridge coming in. It's going to be more accessible as people are coming out to Cayo, which has become a huge tourist destination, a destination for people looking to relocate to Belize. Back in the day, it was always San Pedro. Whenever you heard about Belize or British Honduras, it was about the scuba diving, Jacques Cousteau discovering, or not discovery, but presenting the blue hole to the world, and then, like I said, the whole scuba diving culture. That was really the thing in San Pedro. So when I first came 22 years ago, that was all that was talked about on the airplanes. At the airport, arriving. It's like, okay, so where are you going? San Pedro, San Pedro, San Pedro, San Pedro. And then over the years, I started hearing it's like, oh, I'm going to Cayo. I'm like, oh, interesting. So you're going to Cayo. Have you been to Belize before? Yeah, I've been 4 or 5 times. Like, okay. So it's people that were familiar that would come to Cayo. But I would say probably 7 or 8 years ago, years before COVID even, I started really hearing a lot of people say, hey, so where are you headed? I'm going to Cayo. Have you been to Belize before? No, this is my first time. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So that tells me something right there. So now when that bridge is in place, you have to think, what's going to happen? These people are coming out and they're like, oh, I can just go right across this bridge and I can be to Santa Familia in 5 minutes. Oh, wow. Okay. And then, the archaeologists are excited about it. That really was a big part of their decision to start to have a whole team and an entire summer program and, all of the summer programs in the future at Yashush in Santa Familia, because, oh yeah, it's so easy to get there. And with the restaurants, the banking, the hotels, just the infrastructure that exists in San Ignacio and Santa Elena, the twin towns right now, they want to still be able to have access to that, and so the bridge does that for them. But I looked at again the historical images on Google Earth, and you take a look at that. You can see how the trees have grown in Carmelita, but take the time to kind of zoom out and see the growth pattern in San Ignacio and Santa Elena. 5 years ago, when the Bullet Tree Road was paved, growth went right out there. Now, when that bridge goes in, it's really clear the growth pattern is going to be across the bridge to Santa Familia and then towards Bullet Tree and Spanish Lookout in both directions. So, and things to think about. My director is saying that I need to kind of move on, but I get excited about all these things because this dream has been alive for a long time, and now, again, with the accessibility, it's going to really, really change things and our ability to do certain things.
Talking about that.
Okay, so Q&A.
How close is the hospital or the closest clinic now, and the grocery store and infrastructure, and how close it will be in the coming future?
Yes. Okay. So grocery stores. Actually, we've got grocery stores right in the village. Melvin Humes, one of the old families in Santa Familia, the Humes family. Melvin actually has 2 stores now, and there are also a couple of smaller tiendas where you can get things. But just about all of the staples you need, you can get just, it's like a quarter mile up the road. For more selection, then you have in 2 directions. You go to Spanish Lookout, which is about 7 miles, and that will all be paved. A lot of it's paved now, and so soon it'll be a 10-minute drive. Now it's, I'd say, 15-20-minute drive, and there you've got a huge selection of groceries, appliances, hardware. It's a really great town. It's kind of become the commercial center of Belize. So the Mennonites are, very industrious, and a lot of stuff comes to their stores, and then they send it out to other stores they have around the country or to other merchants. In the other direction, the twin towns, San Ignacio, Santa Elena, and same thing, about the same distance, same drive time, but that. Now, also there will be the paved road. The bigger advantage is going to be that bridge, which puts you, 5 minutes really from right there, Santa Elena, San Ignacio, and will make Santa Familia part of the Tri-Town area. Excuse me, my throat's dry.
What is the HOA cost? Are there communities fee?
Okay, so one of my core philosophies, as I mentioned earlier, is that what I saw over the years with developers in the States, primarily in Florida, where I did a lot of work, and even in Belize and other places, is that at the very beginning they come up with a plan, and all too often the plan looks like a spreadsheet. It's just a grid of lots, and you can see that the whole plan is for them to make this just money thing. It's all you go down expense avenue, take a right on revenue lane, and get to profit park. I mean the actual land plan, it looks like a spreadsheet. And then their approach to an HOA is also part of the business plan. The HOA is written by them for them. And so with a traditional town development approach, kind of, the new urbanist approach to things, but in a more rural setting, so maybe new ruralist, but traditional town, with the idea that this is a legacy project, that the community it should be the beneficiary of the HOA rules, and that has been a core philosophy. So I never officially set up an HOA until a couple of years ago. The community initiative. There was actually a community initiative back to 2019. COVID kind of sidelined it for a while. It doesn't feel like it was time to impose fees and all these HOA things. While people are still dealing with COVID. So we waited. And then after COVID, a new initiative came, and the community then elected a steering committee and elected a finance committee, all without any developer involvement. I had probably, I think I looked back, it was 100 to 120 something lots at the time. And if I voted, it would just have controlling majority. So there would be really no point. It was like, no, this is a community driven thing. So the community voted, they got their steering committee. And so now we've been kind of, going through that whole process of forming the HOC, which looks like it'll be done by the end of the year. In the interim, 3 years ago, the community elected finance committee started to collect fees for the maintenance of road, common areas, and the garden, basic stuff to take care of. And it was, I think, I feel like it was a success. Some people kind of got frustrated, but this happens with this type of thing. But 80% involvement in the what they call the Community Maintenance Fund, the CMF, and activities committees. A lot of things going on that are all community driven. So I think that was a success, because it wasn't a developer putting rules and fees and things on it that kind of hang over the community like a dead fist forever. I didn't want that. And so the community has driven this whole thing, and I've cooperated as requested. So the fees from 2023, 24, and 25 ranged from, I think it was 517 US in 2023, and then 561, I think, the 25 dues. So somewhere is going to be, I would say, if you budget somewhere around 600 US for the year. This isn't per month like a lot of HOAs, condo per lot. Yeah, per year, per lot. I think you should be safe. At the very beginning, once again, back when it was a cow pasture and, I didn't have a crystal ball, I had estimated based on kind of guessing what inflation might be based on historical numbers, blah, 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 that it would be 900 US per year. So that's what a lot of the early adopters were told. And so when it came out around 500, I thought, okay, well, that's almost half of what I thought it could be. And so 600 to me is still very reasonable to have this nice, neat, tidy community and things driven by the community and themselves. So that's it. There's no other community fees other than that. What's that?
To clarify that, does it matter which size of the lot? If there's
So yeah, so the size of the lot that doesn't matter. When I originally ran the numbers, I did have a tiered system that was based on some model documents that an attorney in Jacksonville, Florida, did for new urbanist communities, and she had in there this tiered thing that it's improved, unimproved, this size, that size. So I had a whole thing, and the community leader said, "Well, it's kind of complicated. Can we just simplify it and just take the budget and divide it by the lots?" And so that was what we were using for the CMF. But now the attorneys have advised the community that a tiered system would be better, and so it'll be like 100% for all improved lots. So anybody that has a house on a lot basically would pay 100% of the dues, because they would have the most impact on the roads. They're here, they're living here, the community amenities, things like that. And then the vacant lots would pay 50% of that, because they shouldn't, really have much of an impact. Occasionally maybe the owner comes down to visit, but that's about it. And then the lots that are not deeded or purchased, that are in inventory, they don't have a title. They're part of the kind of the mother title. Since it's a brand new subdivision, the lands department hasn't issued deeds unless they're purchased. And so those also don't have an impact. And there still is the developer, liability for things. So with that idea, the attorney has recommended 25% for the inventory lots that are unsold. So there will be a kind of a tiered system, but on the high end, the finance committee is looking at about 600 per year. So I think it's and then there is somebody asked about property taxes. I guess it was or what it is. What is that question?
Real estate tax.
Okay, real estate, which I'll assume that's the property taxes. So this is my absolute favorite question to answer. So in Belize and in Carmelita, the property taxes are 10 Belize dollars per year. That's 5 US per year. So the thing is that the catch is that most of the time property taxes are what pay for municipal services, for taking care of the roads, the parks and recreation area, things like that. And because the government charges so little, and it's a private community, we get everything that $5 a year will pay for, which is basically nothing. So that's why we have the community maintenance fund. It's not like an HOA that's getting all up in your grill about things. It's because we need to maintain our own roads. The government's not going to do it for us. We need to maintain our own parks, and it's private, so we can make decisions about how, what we want to do with our parks and how we want to maintain them, and how, what amenities we want to have. So I think everybody likes that, like, okay, we don't, we'll do it ourselves. We don't need the government to do that. That's why we're kind of designed and planned as a self-sufficient, resilient. Our motto is independent together. So we like to be independent, as little meddling governance as we can have, but together as a community.
Yes. Is the river safe? Are there crocodiles?
So I consider the river safe. I would not worry about crocodiles. They do exist in the river, not in great numbers. I've only ever seen one in 15 years that I've swam in the river, floated in the river, fished in the river, floated, canoed in the river, all of that. And there was one time where Elise and I went down, and just off to the side, we saw a small one that just swam away quickly. I never heard of any kind of encounter, no attacks or anything. The danger of the river is the river itself, the flow of the river. If you're not a swimmer, if you're not a good swimmer, then you should, wear a life jacket. You should be careful. Don't go in the river, when it's flowing really fast. And there's certain times of the year where it's moving pretty fast. And then, like half of the year, it's wonderful. You can just wade around, and Lisa and I now have learned how to catch river shrimp. You can just get there. She's really good at just standing there. The river is just crystal clear, and you can just see them swimming around the rocks. And I use a mask and a snorkel, and I swim and I sneak up to it. And that's how I get them. Yeah, I would say that the river is safe if you're safe. If you know not to go in there when it's a raging river. And but as far as um, crocodiles or anything like that, I wouldn't worry a second about that.
Tell us more a bit of flooding.
So flooding is it's become I would say like a more recent issue. There has been flooding historically. And so when I started Carmelita Gardens and Dan Silva, who is this was his whole family property. I was one of the first people that I met in Belize. And one of the reasons I fell in love with Belize is that people are, so just wonderful. I love the Belizean people, the culture. And Dan is definitely, a big part of that. His family immigrated here in the 1800s, which Belize is a big melting pot. People have immigrated to the land of the free by the Carib Sea for centuries. Dan, then I know he is a businessman who then got into politics, was in politics for about 30 years. He was Minister of Agriculture. So a good, representative of Belize. And so he and I met, and he said, "Hey, Phil, why don't you come out to the farm and see if maybe you would like to come in, consult, do some development, and come up with a land plan." And so my first question was, so what about flooding? You're on a river. Anytime you're on a river anywhere in the world, you want to say, okay, is there flooding? And he said, yeah, but it's just down by the peninsula, this one area. And I'm like, okay, where? Well, there was a fence line, and on one side, corn and beans were being grown. On the other side, there were horse and cattle. And he said, it's where the Mennonites put that fence. Well, that's not very scientific. But there was a flood before I ever, started developing while I was actually in the States. And so I said, Dan, that's great news. Mark the trees. I know where it is. And sure enough, the flood came right to where the Mennonite fence was. So we took a look at that, did surveys, did topos, all of that with the Department of the Environment. And then we built, like I said, engineered, built, and did a level that was about 6 feet above was a potential maximum flood is what was determined. And so that was good. We had we did have a flood then in 2016. And it was the first one that we had after Carmelita started. And it went up and it went down. It was, within about, 3 days or so, it was like, okay, was there even a flood? You couldn't even tell. And it stopped at the fence line. And we thought, okay, boom, we're patting ourselves on the back. We got it. In 2020, though, there was the unheard of flood of the century. And it actually went up to the floor level of a couple of the early built houses that were built on that. So we have this new high water mark. And we're wondering what is the cause of why would it change from a historical pattern that Dan and his ancestors knew about, and we found that it's deforestation in Guatemala. When you look at Google Earth again, and once you look at Carmelita, zoom out to Santa Familia, San Ignacio, Santa Elena, then zoom out to the border. And you look at what a great job Belize has done in preserving their forests. And I give Dan great credit because as Minister of Agriculture, he set aside a lot of national parks and reserves. And right on that border, it's like somebody took a knife and cut down. It's like everything is green and lush on the Belize side and completely denuded of trees on the Guatemalan side. And that's where the Mopan River comes in, nice and clean and, gentle coming out of Belize. And then it goes through all of that farmland in Guatemala with nothing holding back the floodwaters. So that's what's changed. And I wonder, okay, is it? Have we reached the maximum? And I believe so. It's like once you've cleared all the trees, there's nothing more. And I say, it's like when I lose all of my hair, I can't lose any more once it's all gone. So So I think we're kind of at that point with Guatemala, and we've always engineered, built to these standards, and so now what we've done is we built higher, essentially.
While we are talking about the building, there is a question: are the roofs metal, tile, cement, clay, metal, plastic?
They're galvanized metal. We have different ones to choose from. There's the R panel, which is a kind of a standing seam metal roof, and then you can also have the Spanish profile, the Spanish tile profile. And there's different costs. You have the unpainted R panel, painted R panel, the Spanish profile. So the least expensive would be the unpainted R panel, and then painted, and then the tile profile. Those are the really the only roofs. We're not doing shingles or shakes or other materials. We are looking at some Spanish colonial style, that like reference from Mexico. Some of the great beautiful towns, the architecture there, and so in that style, we would have probably concrete roof with parapet walls, that type of thing, but we haven't done that yet. But anybody is interested, I'd love to sink my teeth into that style of architecture, and I know Luis would as well. We've talked about it.
Maybe about the entrance and how can you get to the place?
Okay, so what's happened over the years is that it seems like every time I turn around, there's another airline and another route coming from not just North America, but also Central America. But most of the routes are coming, and it's pretty much from coast to coast, and even in the middle of the country, there are flights that now Denver you can get from United and Southwest. Minneapolis has direct flights from Sun Country. I think it's seasonal. Dallas, Atlanta, Charlotte, Houston, Los Angeles, Toronto, I don't know, New York, so
today that there is from Lauderdale,
Fort Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale, yeah. So yeah, no, that's in Miami and Fort Lauderdale, yeah. So there are a lot of choices from the major hubs, and the fares vary drastically from high season, low season, different destinations. It's been harder and harder for me to keep up with the flights anymore. I get on Skyscanner, and like recently I saw there's $129 one way from Denver, and one of our residents who lives in Colorado said, yeah, he actually got one for $69 one time. So you just never know. And there's other times where it's high season from a major hub and it's $1,000. So just shop around, and once you land in Belize, the airport is about an hour and a half to 2 hour drive. They've made it more accessible. They've not too long ago they put in a little bypass road to the Western Highway, and so then you just shoot straight out the Western Highway. There are shuttle services, and we actually have one now. I pointed out, Donald, who was waving to us, who does the wood shop, but now he's gotten preoccupied by being the Carmelita chauffeur, which he just loves, and he'll greet you with a big smile and lots of stories. He's like a tour guide along the way, and he just wants you to take care of gas or whatever. He's not it's not running a business per se, and the only thing about that is that he's spending more time on the road than in the wood shop. So visas, I'm not sure about all of that. I can tell you that U.S. Canadian citizens don't need visas, but country by country, I'm not sure who needs. Most Asian countries, I think, require visas.
What is the requirements to stay in Belize?
Oh, yeah. Well, once you're here, you get 30 days tourist stamp. So for North Americans traveling, you just enter and just, I always, no matter where I go, whether I'm going to be there for a day or for a month, I always just put 30 days. If I'm there for a week and then it turns out I need, a few more days, flight things or whatever, I just put 30 days. Belize automatically grants you 30 days. So you come in 30 days. Now, if you're staying here for an extended period of time or you're moving here, then you need to go in once a month and get an extension. And that costs 100 US for the extension per month. If you're lucky, sometimes they'll give you 2 months at a time or 3 months. So, you can save the trip to the immigration office in Belmopan. They used to be really good about that, but they seem to, the last I heard, now I'm a resident now, so I don't have to go. And that's to get residency, stay here for a year. And it doesn't have to be following the calendar, January to December or anything, but for 1 year, only leave the country for 2 weeks. So 50 out of 52 weeks, a year here, then you can apply for permanent residency. And we have a lot of people that have done that are doing that currently. And there you go in each month. And once you fulfill that 1 year, apply for residency, and you no longer have to do that. And then after 5 years, you can then qualify for citizenship. And then there's the QRP. Elisa should be answering all this, but which is the Qualified Residency Program. There's some qualifying criteria. You have to be 45. You will need to provide a police record. You'll need to provide a health record, and that's mainly they're looking at like HIV. So there's a few things. It's not, hey, I had a heart surgery. I mean, I had an aortic valve replacement. There's nothing like that. It's mainly the HIVs that they want to, be cautious of. So 45 health, police record, and I don't know if there's some banking records maybe that you need to have references that, professional references, bank reference, whatever. And then it's $24,000 per year that you have to deposit into a local account. $2,000 per month, or you can just do it one time. It's your money. It's not a payment. It's like a currency exchange. They want foreign currency in, and so one of the things is they want to see 2,000 US per month being deposited into a Belizean account, and then you can spend it as you wish.
Would also say that it's getting more and more complicated with each year.
Yeah. But what we're finding is that like Belize is growing up. There's independence in 1981. They had self-governance, prior to that, and the independence, was great. There was no revolution. There was, nothing. It was just like, the business people popped open their briefcases and said, okay, hey, let's go, let's do it. And Belize had kind of late independence compared to some of the other former British crown colonies. So they had an opportunity to learn from some of the, what does the Jamaican Constitution look like? They looked at, the U.S. Constitution, things like that. So they have a really good Constitution, got their independence, and they move forward. But there's just there's a lot to running a country, and they, learned. One of the things is, good or bad. And so I always kind of caution people. It's like, this bureaucracy is so inefficient, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but how organized do you really want it to be? Because you have these young, bright scholars from Belize. They matriculate to the U.S., Canada, the UK, and they get their, university education. And then they come back with better ideas. And it's like, oh, well, we need to have this, regulation, this compliance. So QRP has been a great program. It still is. But as Elisa just warned, you just never know. What I tell you today, may change tomorrow. So whatever kind of this information that I'm giving in terms of answers to questions about, government policies, things like that, just check before you jump right into it to see that that still is the case.
So there are 4 minutes left.
4 minutes. Tick tock, tick tock. Okay.
In 20 are not enough. Are being said, yes. And maybe more about lots where more trees.
Okay. Yeah. In terms of the lots, yeah, we have here. I can see the map. Yeah. Okay. See, so this area over here has a lot of trees, and I think that is because I started the project. This is the first phase, and this was all fenced off, and this was where all the cattle roamed. So again, they did a good job of fertilizing, mowing, and fertilizing. And so, if you're looking for a canopy of trees, the lots that are in this area would be of interest to you. As far as the lots, 19 and 20, yes, they're on, I think, maybe a separate map than what you have in terms of resales. So what we'll do, Elisa, can we go ahead and do a map that's kind of a consolidated map that has, I think, all of those on it. So anyway, we'll get that information to you. Again, if you'll email us rather than in the chat, actually send us an email at info@carmelitagardens.com about any specific interest that you have. I will I'll follow up. I mean, even, today, this weekend, I'm available. So anything like that, rather than in the Q&A, we can just do that one-on-one.
So
yeah.
Conversation with the typical.
Correct. Yep. We'll just schedule a call. And like I said, today. So just send us an email at info@carmelitagardens.com and we can talk about any of that. And it's a beautiful day. So I'd love to get back out again, and I can go to any particular property today or tomorrow.
Okay. It's been 1 hour, 30 minutes.
Okay. Are there more questions or?
There are is Guatemala still trying to claim Belize?
Yeah, I kind of, see, this is like, I grew up in Michigan, that the Upper Peninsula said they wanted to be their own state, right? I think, Texas is going to be its own state. North Dakota is going to, Guatemala is kind of the same thing. This is something that they recognized Belize sovereignty a long time ago at the United Nations. I think it's just a lot of little. It seems to me like it's a distraction for Guatemalan politicians who are in trouble, and we see that everywhere. We see it in the States. It's like, it's like a misdirect. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. I think it may still be at the Caribbean Court of Justice or something, but I wouldn't, and I never have really taken any of that seriously. The most recent one, I think it was Jimmy Morales, who was the president, even had them put Belize like on the passport, like as part of the map on the passport. And politically, he was in trouble at the time. And if you know anything about him, he was formerly a stand-up comedian. So maybe tell you about how serious some of this stuff is.
You're giving up on the community pool. I think a community pool is not a good idea.
Or what?
Are you giving up on a community pool? I think a community pool is not a good idea. Lawrence.
Okay. So from the very beginning and in the restrictive covenants, a pool and a community center were promised. And when writing those restrictive covenants 15 years ago at a cow pasture, not sure how the community was going to grow, if it was going to grow, if this was going to be a popular idea, blah, blah, blah. Well, now 15 years later, it's a very popular idea and it's growing. The community, the self-sufficient community. So now the idea is, the community center and the pool. And it's a promise I made. So I'm going to stick with my promise. Now, the question is it something that the community, wants to be saddled with, or is it something that I do as a private event center, private pool, all of that? And it really seems to be leaning more and more to being private, but with an agreement with the community to ensure access to community HOC members. That seems to be the best thing. And just a quick thing about my background. I was a springboard diver from a very early age. My hometown of Holland, Michigan, part of the physical education program was going to the pool from, like I said, elementary school, all the way through middle school. And you start off at, beginners, advanced beginners, intermediate, all the way through to where you can be a lifeguard by the end. Everybody knew how to swim. We had very competitive swimming and diving programs. And it amazes me to this day to be in a country like Belize where there are rivers, there's lagoons, there's an ocean, and people don't know how to swim. And you hear about drownings over and over again. And I think it is a travesty to not teach people to swim. And if you go back to the age of antiquity and you see whether it's the Maya or the Romans, bathhouses, I mean, it's part of, to me, it's part of life. It's part of culture. If there's not a pool, I don't think there's, it doesn't feel like a community to me. That's my personal philosophy. That's my personal experience. But again, I'm not here to impose that on anybody. So if the community doesn't want it, I still am going to do what I promised to do and what I feel is the right thing to do. I'm going to build a pool, but the community doesn't need to be burdened with the staffing, the facility, the maintenance, the liability, so on and so forth. So that's where we are right now. We're at that juncture. It's an exciting time, and it's something I've been looking forward to a long time. From staring in the face of a bull and 80 head of cattle to finally thinking about this beautiful community and what's coming next in the town square and the civic realm.
So there was a question: are the veggies organic at the market? And I think you could say about San Ignacio market and also market forest garden market.
Mm-hmm. So I would say, that in general, there is not a big organic growing community in Belize. It is a growing community. In other words, there's organizations, and they're becoming more popular. Harry and Jackie Hoke, some more residents that moved down from Minnesota. They had an organic apple orchard there that they ran. Harry is a career farmer, permaculturist, very passionate about farming, growing, and doing permaculture practices. So I would defer to Harry to answer the questions about what all of the growing practices are. I know we are as organic, I think, as is practical, and so I don't know exactly what that means. Are we certified organic? Well, there's no certifying body, so certain Harry's told me about certain certifying bodies even in the US and in Canada. So I'm not the farmer. I just knew that when I designed this company, when I this community, that I needed to make sure that there was space. So Stephanie says, hobbyists started now. And so they've all been organic take over. So I know those are organic. And I know in the garden, Harry, Jackie, Daria, their gardeners do everything they can to keep things as healthy and organic as possible. Okay, so the next step is if you're really interested, contact us, info@carmelitagardens.com, and we'll be keeping an eye on that this afternoon and tomorrow. So if you want to go and take a look at some other things, I'm available to do that. And then get on Skyscanner is really good, and you can get on there, check the flights, and let us know when you arrive before you arrive out there. From the wood shop to the airport. So, again, thank you all very much. And we look forward to seeing you soon.